Sadly, my younger boss, Mike, had treated me with disrespect, labeling me a freeloader, though I had stepped back from the demanding work. To my shock, he abruptly declared my termination, chuckling disrespectfully. Shockingly, he insisted I resign to cover his own error, threatening to pin the blame on me. Devoid of the will to fight, I departed the company. When I shared the news with my cherished wife, Sarah, she unexpectedly responded with gratitude, reminding me of my original ambitions. I am James, a 45-year-old worker. For the past 20 years, my college sweetheart, and I have been devoted partners. While we haven't been blessed with children, our life together is filled with contentment. After graduating, Sarah secured a position at a prominent company, but she willingly resigned to become a devoted homemaker following our marriage. She was both stunningly beautiful and academically exceptional, reportedly ranking at the top of her peers in the company's personnel evaluations. Honestly, I felt her decision to quit working was a shame, but Sarah seemed entirely at peace with it. Brushing off my concerns, she cheerfully remarked, "I don't have any special ambitions, so I'm thrilled to devote all my energy to supporting your passions." "But someone as talented as you shouldn't be confined to the home," I protested. "Not at all," she reassured me. "There are plenty of capable people who could fill my former role. My job was never uniquely mine alone." I was pleased to have Sarah back home, but I kept checking on her, worried she might become bored with that life. However, my concerns proved unfounded as Sarah maintained a cheerful disposition. "I've made up my mind." "Or what? You don't approve of having a homemaker wife." "That's not the case. I'm happy to return to you." "Humph. I'll do my best to prepare delicious meals." For the next 20 years, Sarah has kept our home tidy and continued to serve up delectable meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. As for me, being the recipient of my wife's devotion, I'm a game creator. I've loved games since childhood, immersing myself in them daily, even at the expense of sleep. Gradually, I desired to try my hand at creating games, leading me to my current path. After graduating from college, I joined a major game production company. Around the time of my marriage, my proposed project was approved for the first time, and I was busy working with the authority to lead the project. Back then, all-nighters were the norm, and my life revolved around coming home to shower and change clothes. After some thought, Sarah's unwavering support prompted a pivotal moment in my life a few years into our marriage. A college buddy approached me with a surprising proposition: to launch a mobile game development company together. This friend had joined a rival firm after graduation and frequently shared insights over casual drinks. The business idea emerged unexpectedly during one of our casual conversations. "Hey James, what do you think about starting a game studio with me?" "A game company? I never contemplated that before." "Your games are hugely popular, but the profits go to the company, right? Doesn't that frustrate you?" "Well, I'm content simply creating the games I'm passionate about. I never even considered entrepreneurship." I was caught off guard, struggling to respond, as the concept of starting my own venture had never crossed my mind. "You're too naive. You have the talent. Don't you ever think about using it to do what you want, earn more, and make Sarah happy?" "I don't possess such exceptional abilities," I admitted. "But what about the massive success of the recent game you spearheaded?" "Surely that wasn't just a stroke of luck," my friend countered. "I wasn't solely responsible for that achievement," I clarified. "Oh, stop being so modest. And let's not forget the constraints of being a salaried employee. Don't you ever yearn for more creative freedom in game development?" My friend's words made me realize the limitations I faced as a company employee, hindering the full realization of my game development vision. "More freedom. That's certainly appealing to me," I acknowledged. "Are you considering it? Do you think it's actually achievable?" "It's not a matter of whether it's possible or not. We'll make it happen." Haha. And so, we spent the night discussing our business plan over drinks, well into the late hours. A year later, We each contributed $20,000 as startup capital and established our own small company. We rented a rundown apartment unit to serve as our office. My friend handled the sales, planning, character design, and backgrounds, while I focused on scenario writing and programming, covering all aspects of game development. During the year leading up to our resignations, we diligently created mobile game apps, and within 3 months of launching our business, we began distributing them. In the past 15 years, our game development company has transformed itself into a renowned industry giant. We now employ over 500 skilled individuals, having released several hit products. As the business expanded, I decided to take a step back from the demanding daily game design work around 5 years ago. This allowed me to prioritize a healthier work-life equilibrium at my own pace. While I no longer lead major projects, I now serve as an advisor to our younger team members and pursue creative writing whenever the mood strikes me. I strive to arrive early at my workplace and take advantage of the flexible scheduling system to leave by 5 p.m. This is my new routine. Unfortunately, a colleague named Mike, who was swiftly promoted to a managerial role in just 8 years, often criticizes my work ethic. Mike used to impress me with his ambition, but his aggressive demeanor has become counterproductive in recent times, as he frequently directs it towards me. Today, as I was reviewing some documents alone, Mike approached me from behind and remarked, "You seem to have plenty of free time. And sure you're actually working as well." However, I was simply examining some interesting material. Mike then exclaimed, "Material? Ha! You're not even handling any significant tasks, yet you're acting all important. It's clear you're not doing anything, you freeloader." His direct insults left me speechless. He continued, "Why don't you just retire? It's frustrating for everyone to see you getting paid without working." "But I do attend to some necessary responsibilities," I tried to explain. "Oh, spare me the excuses," Mike retorted. "It's infuriating to see someone like you." Dealing with Mike's constant criticisms had become a source of distress for me. Our meetings were filled with harsh judgments, leaving me struggling to find a way to address the situation. The verbal abuse only intensified as time passed. One day, a particular incident unfolded. Mike abruptly called out to me, his tone laced with anger. He accused me of angering our major sponsors by rejecting their product placement proposals without consulting anyone, and proceeding with production unilaterally. Confused, I tried to explain that I wasn't even responsible for any game production work related to the sponsors. However, Mike's loud outburst in front of many colleagues left me feeling anxious and on edge. Gazing directly at me, Mike's eyes gleamed with amusement. "I've overlooked your neglect of duties, but I can't allow you to keep costing the company. You're dismissed." Dismissed. Yes, the board has already been informed. Ha. Just gather your belongings and go. This can't be real, I thought, as Mike whispered to me, ensuring no one else could hear. "Our company no longer needs you. Ha ha. This way, I can pin the blame on you, a mere employee. Ha ha." Remarkably, Mike was forcing me to resign by shifting his mistake onto me, and he had meticulously involved the board members as well. "So, this is the end," Mike sneered, spitting out the words. After being reprimanded by Mike, I silently packed my things and left the company, lacking the energy to fight back. I felt beyond angry, yet strangely calm. Mike had threatened me with termination, but I knew it wasn't that simple to dismiss someone. Still, I couldn't bear the thought of continuing to work with Mike and decided it was best to leave the company. After starting my own venture, I became even more consumed by my passions, neglecting other aspects of my life. Regrettably, this led to my dismissal by a junior supervisor, a development I feared would upset or disinterest my spouse upon my return home. It was an unusual hour when I arrived at our residence, a time I rarely found myself there. My partner greeted me with surprise. "Welcome back. What's happened?" "You're early." "Yes, well," I proceeded to recount the termination incident in full. My spouse listened intently, then responded with a warm, understanding smile, quite unlike the frustrated expression I had anticipated. I'm glad you've decided to leave the company. There's somewhere I'd like us to go, together. Together? Where to? My wife didn't answer my question, but stood up with a smile and hurried me along. She said we were going to have a delicious lunch and led me to a busy downtown area close to our home. As we walked down the busy main street lined with office buildings and fashion malls, people approached my wife, occasionally shaking hands. Are you Sarah? I'm a fan of yours. I'm so thrilled to meet you. Thank you. I came to this restaurant today because I saw it on your blog. Really? That makes me happy. I was utterly bewildered, staring dumbfounded at my wife, who had become a celebrity. After the crowd dispersed, Sarah turned back to me. Surprised? Yeah, a bit. What's going on, Sarah? Are you a celebrity? When you were busy with work, chasing your dreams with such dedication, it made me want to do something too. Is that so? Yeah, so I started a blog. A blog? I couldn't hide my surprise at my wife's unexpected revelation. Yes, I began sharing information about beauty, delicious restaurants, fashion, and other things I like. It got a great response, and now I'm somewhat of an influencer. Saying that, Sarah revealed the truth with a slight blush. Indeed, Sarah had always been beautiful and popular in college, but I had no idea she had become so famous through her blog that people would recognize her on the street. She told me more about it, mentioning that the blog has a large readership, which generates a significant amount in advertising revenue. Do you despise me for keeping this a secret and doing it on my own? Of course not. I'm really proud of you for garnering so much attention and thriving. Thank you. It's all thanks to you, James. Thank you for giving me the chance to change. Now that you've quit your job, I was hoping you'd support me in return. Hearing my wife say that everything was thanks to me, I was reminded of how I felt when we first started my company 20 years ago. I was completely absorbed in game development. 15 years ago, I made a significant decision to pursue my dream of creating the games I wanted, starting a business with a friend. That passion led to a sense of accomplishment as the company grew, and we created all the games we wanted. However, Sarah's words made me realize that my desire wasn't just about being a game creator, but about wanting to grow the company as one of its founders. Now, with many talented young employees having joined, I felt the work had become routine and less innovative, making it less interesting. This growing concern about the company's direction prompted me to reach out to my friend. He, too, felt the mobile game development industry was saturated with rivals. Moreover, we needed to create more innovative content to ensure the company's future. As a result, we decided to hold a shareholders' meeting. On the day of the meeting, I wore a suit for the first time in a while and visited the conference room of the company I had left. Among the familiar faces was Mike, and I felt disheartened to see him. Apparently, he had been buying shares and was attending the meeting. I tried to pass through the entrance without being noticed, but Mike quickly spotted me and approached with a sneering smile. Hey, James. Feeling lonely after getting fired? Lol. Mike jeered. Mike, you seem as energetic as ever, I replied, attempting to joke back. However, my attempt only made Mike turn serious and start berating me. What does a fired employee like you want here? You better leave. Lol. It's embarrassing and pathetic to hang around with lingering attachment. Lol, he sneered. No need to worry about me, I said. Shut up and just get out. Don't make me say it again. Get out of here, Mike demanded. I casually dealt with Mike's persistent harassment and waited for the shareholders' meeting to begin. Soon, the meeting started with my friend, the president, taking the stage as the chairperson and declaring the meeting open. The meeting proceeded, and it was time for Q&A with the shareholders. When I raised my hand, Mike, who had followed me to the next seat and had been pestering me, tried to stop me in surprise. Come on, lol. Raising your hand is so embarrassing. Stop it, lol. A minor shareholder like you should stay quiet. Lol. You're disrupting the proceedings, Mike mocked. Ignoring Mike's heckling, I looked towards the host, and my name was called. Mr. James, thank you for joining us today. Please go ahead with your question, the host said. My question is this. It seems there are no new business ventures, and I'm concerned that without them, the increased personnel costs and other expenses will lead to decreased profits. What measures are in place to address this? I asked. Director, your response, please, the host prompted. The board member, seeing my face, started sweating and trembling as he answered, Mr. James, as you rightly pointed out, there are numerous challenges with our future business plans. Please be concise. Are there any measures in place, and do we have the necessary personnel adjustments for that? I pressed. We are all considering that. He began. It'll be too late to just consider it. Listen, I made every suggestion I could think of for the company's growth, and the management team listened intently, their faces stiff with seriousness. I continued. All the while, Mike stared blankly, not understanding what was happening. Therefore, we need new projects and the creation of a sales department. For that, we also need flexible staff reallocation according to each employee's strengths. Understood, the board member responded. Then, unable to hold back any longer, Mike loudly interrupted the proceedings. Wait a minute, lol. Why is the director even listening to this guy? Lol, stop it, please. At Mike's words, the faces of the management team on stage froze in an instant. You idiot. Who are you? How dare you speak to Mr. James like that? One of the directors exclaimed. I'm Mike. I work for this company, and I'm also a shareholder. Lol. More importantly, we should be kicking out this guy right away. It's embarrassing for the company. Lol. Mike retorted. Mike, did you say? Do you not know who Mr. James is? The director asked. Of course. Lol. He's the underperforming employee I fired. Lol. Mike replied, still mocking. Don't joke around. This man is the founder of our company and holds over 50% of the shares. One word from Mr. James, and your job is gone in an instant. The director snapped. At the director's words, Mike's face went pale, and he began to tremble. That's a joke, right? This can't be serious. He was just a useless employee shoved off to the window. Mike stammered. Then, my friend, the president, who had been silently watching, spoke up angrily but calmly. It's all true. James is my friend. We both contributed equally to the capital when we founded the company, and you dare to call him such names. Faced with the president's glare, Mike started desperately trying to excuse himself, shrinking away. I didn't know. I mean, he always seemed to be doing the easy jobs and leaving on time. I had no idea he was a founder. I'm so sorry. The company exists today because of the initial game production work done solely by James, and you fired him. Ridiculous. Please, I'm begging for forgiveness. You're fired. Leave the conference room and the company immediately. This is too much. This is so unfair. And so, Mike, due to his disrespectful behavior exposed in front of the president, was immediately fired and broke down crying afterward. Mike was practically dragged out of the company by security guards. Despite being young and promoted early due to his ambition and dedication to his work, Mike was the type of person who would step on others to get ahead, thinking only of himself and causing friction everywhere within the company. This behavior led to smooth operations being hindered and numerous issues with business partners, prompting the company to consider action. Until his appalling attitude towards me was exposed, resulting in a direct termination from the president. After Mike was gone, employees who had been intimidated by his arrogant attitude could work more freely and happily, improving the workplace environment. As for me, after being apologized to by the president and board members, I was asked to return to the company. They were unaware of Mike's attempt to fire me, thinking instead that I had left the company of my own accord. I apologize for leaving without explanation due to my feelings at the time. I also expressed my wish to work in human resources upon my return, not game development. Since starting the business, I've felt strongly that a company is made up of people, and by selecting the right personnel and placing them in the right positions, the company can grow even more. My current goal is to help the company continue to provide new value to many people and grow. That's why I find my role in recruitment so fulfilling. Since taking charge of HR, I've focused on selecting employees whose desires align with the company's vision, significantly reducing workplace conflicts. Although I sometimes get asked to help with game development, I turn down all such requests. I believe that dedicating myself fully to what I truly want to do yields better results than before. No matter how much the company grows, I plan to continue focusing on recruitment in my work, valuing people above all else.